Hello everyone, thanks for tuning in to today's bird video. Going to have a look at the weather for the next 10 to 14 days for today's bird video. Day 10 will take us to the 17th of December, and we'll be able to extend out beyond that with the GFS and ECM ensembles, and they run to around a couple of weeks. I'll have a look at the CFS-E2 at the end of the video for the next 4 weeks. Gets us into the new year. So I should get off that view in a moment. Just say about the first video release was our 7 AM forecast. We've also released the ECM 30-day forecast, and we've got the latest Christmas update coming up for you tonight at around 7ish. I'm very, very late today. Been in Northampton picking up new glasses and Christmas shopping and whatnot, so I'm really, really late. So we shall just crack on with this video. So central temperature is currently standing at 5.05 degrees. That's 0.2 of a degree below the 61 to 90 average. That is provisional to the 6th. That may tick down a little bit more over the next 2 or 3 days, probably going just under 5 degrees, somewhere like upper 4s. And then it will start to rise over the weekend and into next week as the weather will become a lot milder. Here's the upper air temperature and precipitation ensembles for the next couple of weeks of the GFS for Sheffield. The red line is the 30-year upper air temperature average for Sheffield. We're starting off below average at the moment. We've got a few more days of colder than average weather to go. But over the weekend into next week, we get this lift up in the temperature. It's generally very mild, actually, with the upper air temperature anyway through the middle part of the month. We may see a bit of a cooling trend appearing as we approach Christmas, because that's a very, very long way off. This lift up in the temperature will be associated with high pressure, so there is a drying trend as well. Precipitation-wise, there's going to be lots of precipitation coming up over the next week or so. Plenty of rain and some wintry weather over high ground as well. In the second half of December, it does turn drier as it turns milder. With the upper air temperatures, it turns drier. So the lift up in the temperature is associated with high pressure. And we see this with the sea level pressure ensemble. So again, we're starting off with low pressure at the moment. We see the pressure lifting up to between 1,020 and 1,040 millibars there. Temperature-wise, we look like that. So starting quite cold at the moment, becoming a lot milder around the middle part of the month, and then maybe a cooling trend as we move towards Christmas. Again, that is very long way out, though. So temperature anomalies from the 7th to 15th of December are going milder than average. Precipitation anomalies from the 7th to 15th of December, they're going a little bit drier than average in the south. That's where high pressure is building up from, of course. And still wetter than average though in the north and in the west. Latest wind frame map from earthnorthschool.net shows up Storm Barra very, very nicely sitting over Ireland at the moment, bringing lots of heavy rain and strong winds to much of Ireland and also to the UK as well. That's how the UK Met Euro is looking for midnight on Friday. So cool and unsettled, still bringing in these chilly northwest winds. A bit of a ridge into Saturday will bring a drier but colder day. Then we start to push up these southwesterlies as we go through the weekend. So things getting much milder through the weekend and into the early part of next week. Heights rising to the south over France and into Germany. Low pressure out to the west of the line will drag up very mild air from the southwest into the early part of next week. There will still be rain, particularly in the north and the west. GFS midnight run looks like that. Again, quite cool and unsettled through the end of the week and into the weekend. Then later on in the weekend, we'll start to drag up these much milder southwesterly winds into early part of next week, looking very mild then, with winds coming from a southwesterly direction. Around the middle of the week anyway, it might start getting a little bit colder though up in the north, but generally looks quite Atlantic driven and relatively mild as we move up towards day 10. That's going to be the 17th of December. Beyond that, high pressure really takes over just beyond day 10, and we have this big area of high pressure sitting across the country. This is a warm ridge of high pressure. It's developed from the south, so the upper air temperatures will be very mild. Of course, due to the time of year, we might radiate the warmth out into space very quickly, and that area of high pressure, if it's a clear high, and if we have, long nights with clear skies, then we'll start generating mist and fog, which will limit the temperature. But fundamentally, that is a warm ridge of high pressure. And we finish up at the very end of the GFS midnight run, which gets to 23rd of December. High pressure pulled just to west, so it's going to turn much drier through the third week of December and still relatively mild, to be honest, at this point, although, you know, coming around the top of the high, probably a lot of cloud and whatnot. Southby GFS 6 lead is looking again rather cool and showery. Winds in from the northwest on Friday, so weekend looks start to drag in these much milder southwesterly winds into next week, looking rather unsettled but also mild, especially for the south, a little bit colder in the north. Perhaps when day 10 high pressure will be sitting over to the south and east of the country, low pressure way to the northwest, generally looking quite mild as we get through towards day 10. Then the high pressure starts moving up towards Scandinavia beyond that, so it's going to get the same range, actually develop a Scandinavian high with the GFS 6 head as high pressure moves north, so starts to pull in a significantly colder easterly wind. So for a few days into the third week of 10, we've got a proper Scandinavian high here, and winds are in from the east, so all change, much colder, and probably bring some snow showers onto the eastern coast. Eventually, as we move towards Christmas, find that high pressure begin to recede back in towards Eastern Europe. Of course, that's a very long way out. We still have relatively high pressure over Scandinavia even then. Certainly a lot colder as we approach Christmas with overnight frost and probably freezing fog patches as well. So it is very much a case of where this high pressure is going. It will start out as a warm ridge, but where does high pressure go in the end will be an interesting question as we move towards Christmas. GM looks like that, so again winds are in from the northwest, looking cool and showery at the end of week into the weekend, becoming very mild in the south, unsettled though up in the north. All areas looking very mild as we go into next week with this long fetch southwesterly pumping up the air from the Azores. We can probably expect temperatures at least into low double digits, if not higher. And then moving out towards day 10, again, all looks very, very mild with the GEM. High pressure is to the south, low pressure is away to the north and the west. Driest in the south and east, wettest in the north and west. And then we've got the ECM WF again, but looks quite unsettled and cool on Friday. But over the weekend, up come those very mild southwesterly winds, and then on into next week, very much is a case of mild weather. Starting off unsettled, turning drier eventually, as you said, if high pressure builds from France and starts to push northwards. That's how we look as we get to day 10, basically going under high pressure. Where does high pressure go after that? That is going to be the question, isn't it? This is the precipitation forecast based on that ECM run from TredShow.com. So very wet, stormy today, severe gales, heavy rain, snow in the north as well. It's all going on with Storm Barra today. Check out UK weather forecast, see what's happening. Into tomorrow, wintry showers, particularly into more western areas. So it remains cold for the time being, but it's over weekend that we start to bring in those milder winds from off the Atlantic, and all precipitation goes back towards rain then, basically. And it starts to turn drier for more southern areas as well as we get towards day 10. So a little bit of rain left in the far northwest of Scotland, but definite drying trend. These are the options on the table within the ECM ensemble today for day 10. Gets to the 17th of December. 27 members of the ECM ensembles have high pressure sitting over and to the east and northeast of the country. They'll be dragging in quite a cold easterly wind potentially at day 10. They sort of develop the Scandinavian high. 18 have high pressure again over Scandinavia, but has stronger influence from low pressure out in the Atlantic. So that's like a battleground UK type scenario, with the low pressure trying to keep westerlies going, the high pressure trying to bring in easterlies, and in between probably drawing up quite a mild southerly wind, but that southerly wind might be producing warm air advection. And then we also have, let's get rid of that, we also have 6 just here, including the operation run. So the operational ECM run, not all that well supported actually by its ensembles today. The operational ECM run has a high pressure to the south, no Scandinavian high, of course, and low pressure out to the north and west, and winds coming in from that mild west or southwest direction. But that option is actually not that well supported, and the majority option is definitely to build high pressure towards Scandinavia by day 10. The only question is how much influence does it have? In 2 weeks' time, these are the options that we've got. Gets us to the 22nd of December. 24 members of the ECM ensembles again have a proper Scandinavian high up here to the northeast. Low pressures out in the Atlantic. Winds are coming in from like an east or southeast direction. That's bound to be cold if that comes off. We have 20 with high pressure centred to the north of Scotland, and around that comes this proper easterly wind. So again, that's cold as we're running up towards Christmas. That could bring some snow showers into southern and eastern areas. And they have this ongoing minority option that will probably improve the operational run if we could go that far with it, but we can't. But still mild with winds winds in from the west or southwest. But the ECM ensembles actually looks like they're moving towards drier, colder weather, I have to say, through the third week of December. So despite all of the operation output, except for that GFS 6 said, looking really quite mild today, as we move towards Christmas. Actually, reading between the lines, it does look as though quite a bit of the ensemble data anyway is shifting towards a drier and colder outlook. So it's all to be revealed and it's all to play for. CFS 2 finally, these are 500 millibar heights broken down to week periods. The first week period takes us from the 7th to the 13th of December. Coming week we have low pressure in off the Atlantic, looking very unsettled and starting off quite cool as well. We get through into week 2, being the 14th to 20th of December, looking much milder. Low pressure out to the northwest, high pressure to our southeast, and winds in from a very mild southwesterly direction. Week 3, where are we? There we are, week 3. There it is. It's going to take us from the 21st to the 27th of December. How does that one look as we go through Christmas? Still mild. High pressure to our east and south. Low pressure away to the northwest. Winds in from that very mild southwesterly direction. And then finally we get through to week 4, which will be around the New Year, 28th, 3rd of January. High pressure then pulls out to our west. And we bring in, like, probably a cooler, but not particularly cold, northwesterly flow. There is high pressure up here. Around Scandinavia and back into western Russia. So if those two high pressure, if that high pressure there could ridge to that high pressure there and set up, you know, a proper high there, then that would get wind into the east and would turn much colder. But that is, of course, 4 weeks away. That's all ifs, buts, and maybes, and we shall have to wait and see what happens as we get towards Christmas and the New Year. It will be determined by where that high pressure goes in the end, I think. Right, if you've enjoyed this rather short video, please smash the like button, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much for doing that. Drop a comment and so what you think about this and all of our videos. Don't forget to tell your friends and family to subscribe as well. Thank you so much. We have hit 12.8k. 12,800 subscribers was reached yesterday. So we're now pushing on 12.9k and ultimately 13,000 subscribers. Please give us a sub and thank you so much, everybody, for doing that. Going to be back this evening around 7ish, looking at the latest Christmas update, so I shall see you that then. Christmas Countdown will continue tonight at 7. Tomorrow we're going to have a USA broadcast, have a 10 to 14 day coming up for you as well, so quite a bit going on at the channel tomorrow. Keep checking back for more, but for this video, that's all for now, and thanks for watching.